Hello everyone. Let's raise some questions first. What are pre-seed and seed stage rounds? How the startup gets their series A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. rounds? What is the logic behind these rounds? When a startup is considered at revenue stage or the growth stage or the expansion stage, what are the relationship between these stages and these startup rounds? So if you have any of the questions like these, this video is the answer to those questions. Hello everyone, my name is Avkash and you are watching another video from We Together Ventures. In this video, we are going to understand the startup's growth and how the growth is related to their rounds. My objective in this video is to give the answers to these very general questions to you so that you can make a better understanding of the startup growth when analyzing for your angel investment. So let's get started. So we will start very first how a company is started. Some of these startups, they are created by some of these people who live the problem. They know the problem firsthand and they also know the solutions which are available. Either they are limited or they do not solve the problems completely. And that's where the birth of a startup occurs. So these engineers, founders, they group some of these resources together and create the foundation of the startup with some kind of solution which solves one specific problem. Every time you start with the one specific problem and find the solution to it, and once you get the solution to that problem and find various customers whose problem is solved by your solution, and then you start growing yourself. But however, everything starts from a one single problem and its solution. So now let's assume that you have identified a problem. You also know how to solve the problem. You also have a list of folks who have this problem. So you go, you try to suggest your solution, they use your solution, and slowly, more and more people are using your solution, and that's where your companies start getting traction. So what happened at very early stage? We call these stages pre-seed or the seed stage. A company is considered as a seed stage when the company has some sort of structure around it. It means company has identified the problem. At least company does have MVP or some sort of solution ready in their hand, which they can either show to somebody or one step ahead can solve the problem at a very significant percentage level. So that's the seed stage. Anytime you are very early in that stage, that is considered as a pre-seed. Pre-seed means you are still in very ideation phase. You are still trying to find the very early folks who could work together with you. It means that you have just an idea, but you are working together to find your solution so that you can grow and progress yourself from pre-seed to seed stage. Whether you are in pre-seed stage or in seed stage, you need funding. You need funding to grow that, to build the solution around your idea. That money could be coming from your money or your friends and family money, or maybe some person who trusts you and gives you some sort of amount so that you could at least move out from your ideation phase and at least build some kind of MVP, a product, a solution which really identify your work, had some sort of visibility around your idea. The money which is given at very early stage is considered as a pre-seed money. It means that the person who are giving you that money, they actually trusting you that you do have capability to solve a certain problem specified by yourself. In the seed money, it means that you do have some kind of solution ready with you. And the next step in your progress will be the Series A. And when you are in Series A, the common consensus is that at this point you do have some sort of MVP. It means you have a viable product which solves the problem identified by you, and if possible, you do have some customer using your product. It means if they are using your product and you are generating some value for them, it means you have a product which is also generating some revenue. It is possible that not every Series A company is generating some sort of revenue, but if you have a startup which is generating revenue at the Series A stage, it means you definitely have a product which is validated by few customers. It means you are definitely working on a problem which has some market validation built into it. At that point, you have few customers, you have a product which is working. However, it is not a product which is going to be used by mass as of now. You need more money to build a solution which can solve the problem at super massive scale. That is the real objective behind your startup. So now your next step will be to go to the Series B. At this stage, we consider that your startup is in growth stage. This means it actually moved from Series A to Series B. You are no longer just a product with a little revenue. At this time, you have more and more customers using your product. The growth metrics proves that you are definitely growing at a very good rate. So the rate of growth is very important, and the growth stage has a various levels of growth. Your customers are growing, your revenue is growing, your team is growing, the capability within your product is growing. So all these growth in various levels is considered as a growth stage. Some startup you hit by Series B, some startup it might take little early or little late. But the idea with growth stage is that you are achieving the significant growth, and that's what drives the valuation of your startup at Series B stage. After Series B, then the Series C and D comes ahead. At that time, your growth is actually getting bigger and bigger, and now you are in the expansion stage of your company. It means you are expanding at very higher rate. Your customer base is growing, your team is growing, the number of problems you are solving around your core problem is also widening. So you are expanding your reach within your customers' bases. So during this stage, depending on how much progress you have achieved, whatever your expansion rates are, those rates actually drive your company valuation. So Series C and D, there are metrics for every different market. What should be your growth rate? If you are building a SaaS company, if you are building a product company, product is downloaded and used by your consumers. It could be anything. It could be a hardware device. The expansion stage really shows that what is the trajectory of your growth, and depending on the trajectory of your growth and expansion is what drives your startup valuation at those stages. The next stage are the E, F, and subsequently as they arrive. At that time, you have already expanded enough, and now it is possible that you are actually becoming a market category. And what is a market category? There are few companies which actually goes in that stage. You became a product, you build yourself as a category, and those stages comes into EF and further category as companies really grow. At that time, your valuation becomes in billions because now you have established yourself. So once a company achieved a market category, or at least is capable enough to give a competition to an established market category, it means they have achieved a stage where the next step is either to go IPO, or company could be acquired by another bigger company as their portfolio product, or some kind of sale could happen. Those are the only few exits could happen for that company, or it is possible that company will raise more money and then keep going at next stages of growth and is still running as a private owned company. And that's how the startups, they start from scratch with a problem and a concept to solve that problem, and finally achieve itself is a solution category and return very high value to everyone who are connected with this startup one way or another. I hope you got some idea through this video that how startup growth occurs and how does these startup valuation works. It was fun to create this video for you, and I hope that you have enjoyed the content in this video. Thanks for joining this video, and I would be seeing you in my another video. That's all, my friends. I hope to see you in my next video. If you have enjoyed our content, please like it, share it, and subscribe it. At last, please be good and do good. Thank you.